Game Nexus.
Many Bothans died to bring us this information.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Bothan Report. It's Dwayne here with another episode, and today we're going to be diving back into Star Wars Legion. We're getting lots of really good stuff coming our way just before the end of the year, and hopefully, and I think as far as Fantasy Flight Games goes, we will be getting the Emperor and the Royal Guard that accompany him before the end of the year. So today we're going to be talking about the Royal Guard specifically. So these guys actually made their first appearance in Star Wars lore in Return of the Jedi. If you guys haven't seen that movie, be ashamed of yourself. But will notice that they didn't really have a big part in that movie. They just kind of were background dressing. They didn't really do anything, say anything. They just kind of were there. And me as a kid, I know watching Return of the Jedi, there was always that sense of what the heck were they and what could they do? I thought they looked kind of goofy. They just kind of looked like men with robes and staffs, and that was about it. So it wasn't until many years later where Dark Horse Comics, who then had the license to create additional Star Wars lore in that universe, decided to do a comic series called Crimson Empire. Crimson Empire was basically sort of putting the Royal Guard under a magnifying glass, so to speak, and really peeling back the layers of what these guys were all about. And more importantly, we got a good glimpse of what they looked like in combat, and man, oh man, did these comics really show off what they were capable of. Now that series of comics actually went on to span, I think, the 3 sequel series, so they really did start doing deep dives into these characters. I mean, obviously, when Disney took over the Lucasfilm movies, then they wiped that clean, and so now we're back to square one without really knowing a lot about them. But those comic books kind of give everybody sort of a sense of what these things were capable of doing. So the Imperial Royal Guard are going to be coming out at the end of the year, and they are going to come in a single, very simple to use flavor. They are the Royal Guard 3-man unit for 75 points. I'm going to walk you through the cards just so you can get an idea of how you're going to customize them and give you some tidbits on how to use them in your army. So the Imperial Royal Guards, like I said, are 75 points for 3 units. Now the neat thing here is they've got 5 slots, so you can actually tweak these guys out to really customize them how you want them and how you're going to use them in your game. That one slot, however, can be used to add another Royal Guard figure in with an Electro staff. That Electro staff is only the only weapon that they have, so they will not become equipped with their blaster, as you're going to see here. So right off the bat, they have charge. So after you perform a move action, you can actually perform a free attack action. So that makes sense, right? They got these big long staffs. They're going to charge right at your opponent and do some damage in addition to freeing up that extra attack that they have normally. So they have Discipline 2, so whenever they're issued a command, they can get rid of 2 suppression tokens. So that's kind of a good all-around ability to have. With these guys being primarily melee fighters, you can expect them to start taking lots of fire, especially if you're using them to lock down an objective of any kind. So being able to remove those suppression tokens is really a good benefit. Now, the real meat of their card here is their Guardian 2 ability. So while they're within 1 range of a friendly unit with line of sight, defending against a range attack, they literally can step in and sort of deflect those shots. So that's actually a really good ability. They can do it for up to 2 hit results. So once you've dealt with your surges, and essentially roll one of your defense dice, and anything that comes up as a blank result, you suffer 1 wound for that, but you actually cancel the result on the person that you're protecting. So pretty good ability, and each of them can do that. So it's something to look forward to as far as having a squad of these guys to really lock down that objective and protect the guy that they're actually accompanying, probably Emperor Palpatine. They have 2 health, and they are using a red dice for their primary attack. They have a movement of 2, which is pretty standard as far as those go. Their 2 weapons are the Force Pike and the EC-17 Holdout Blaster. So that's going to get you 2 black dice with a range of 2. Their Force Pike is really good. It's got the black and red diamond, so that's for your melee attacking. So that's really what the Royal Guard are up to for the most part on their core card. I'm going to walk you through some of the accompanying cards that you're going to get in the box set when you get this guy opened up. So let's tackle the additional guard figure that you're going to have. This one's called the Electro Guard. So unlike the other three figures in your squad, this guy doesn't have a ranged attack. So he's going to come in as the Electro Guard, but it does have some interesting perks with this one. So he's an Electro Guard mini, so class does that. So while defending against a melee attack, you gain immune to pierce. So this particular figure can't really have pierce use against it. So if you got Luke bearing down on you, this would be the one to pull out to fight Luke. So make sure he's at least standing between you and whoever else you're protecting or the objective. And of course the restriction is sidearm melee, which means you have to use the weapon on this card. So just keep that in mind when equipping him. But again, immune to pierce is something that's really good against those Jedi. You also get tenacity in that kit as well, in the box set as well. So while performing a melee attack, if you're wounded or if one or more of your minis have been defeated, add 1 red attack die to your attack pool. So again, it's just a little bit of a buff, so to speak. And then of course, rounding it out, we also have Hunter. So this is great. While attacking a wounded trooper unit during the roll attack day step, you may gain 1 aim token. So those are just 3 of the cards you're going to be getting in that set. Overall, I think it's a great expansion into the Imperial side of things. We've been seeing lots of range attack units, blasters, scouts, snipers, that kind of stuff. It's really neat to see sort of a dedicated melee-focused unit that's going to hit the table, and they're pretty intimidating too. So I think it's just what the Imperial Army needs. So let us know what you think of the Royal Guard Star Wars Legion expansion that's coming your way. Hopefully we'll get some information on the Emperor soon, and we'll get another video out on that one for you. And also just feel free to throw some comments down on how you're using some of these units in your games. So as always, we appreciate your guys' viewing. We're going to keep making more Bothan reports as more and more stuff comes out for Star Wars Legion and other Fantasy Flight Star Wars games. Make sure you like and subscribe, and leave a comment down below if you think there's a different way that I can bring you some of this information. As always, thanks for tuning in, guys. Take care.
Game Nexus.
This video was created with the help of the Game Nexus, a group of people who help content creators reach their goals as well as host their content. Their link is in the description below.